planet went through such massive upheaval that it tilted, you know. Many ancient civilizations talk about the planet stopped rotating for 7 days. And if the planet stops rotating for 7 days, it puts a massive stress on the shell of the planet, the crust, and so the crust would crack and then volcanoes would explode, and start burying everything in earthquakes, which is what you sort of like saw, So this upheaval has to last for like almost 100 years, and of course they realize that things are going wrong, and that's of course when we start bhakti, because we're calling out to the Father, okay, what have we done? We've fallen so much, and it's in literature, it's in even modern literature. I was reading one story by a Russian author, and he talks about heaven and the great fall, where the people of heaven, these divine beings, they fell because of vice. And he's talking about this. This is, his name is Dostoevsky, I think, as a Russian author. He's a very well-known Russian writer from, I think, 1800s, maybe 19th century. And but he wrote this story called The Dream of a Ridiculous Man. But in it, he had this dream of heaven, of paradise, where he talked about the humans being so divine, so full of virtue, so loving, that even the animals were loving and didn't want to harm them. That everything, nature was beautiful and pure and vibrant, and so much energy and so much love from everyone, unconditional, So he wrote about this more than 100 years ago. He must have had a vision or some sort of experience. So, but of course, all of that comes to an end at the end of the Silver Age in this big catastrophe, But by the end of the Silver Age, the civilization had expanded to many other parts, of the globe. And of course, like Baba says, even from the time of the first Narayan to the second Narayan, even to the last Narayan in the Golden Age, each kingdom changes slightly. The customs and systems change, maybe even the look changes, and maybe, I don't know if the language would slightly change, I think if they moved outside of Bharat, like if the kingdom into the Silver Age, maybe the middle of the Silver Age, if the kingdom expanded outside of Bharat, the languages would start to differ. Because of course even in India, we know there are so many languages in India. Each state has its own language. So each state is like its own country with its own language. So in the Golden Age also, it starts off in unity as one, but by the end of the Silver Age, it's all fractured to many different civilizations, And there was still technology at the end of the Silver Age, that was there, because we know that from many ancient civilizations that they uncover around the world, in both Egypt, South America, here in India, Mohenjo-daro and Pakistan. They were all built using amazing engineering, and they had to be built with technology, because even the things that were built, even modern machinery couldn't lift these things into place, So they would have had even technology right at the end of the Silver Age. So, there was a lot of things going on by the end of the Silver Age, many, many different kingdoms.